We tested for chemicals known to be toxic to children, chemicals that can cause learning disabilities, reproductive problems, hormone problems, and cancer. At HealthyToys.org, we tested over 1,200 toys for 10 different toxic chemicals, including not just lead, but also cadmium, mercury, brominated flame retardants, PVC, and antimony.
We went to the toy store, bought a bunch of toys, brought them in, tested them, and put the results up on HealthyToys.org. So there's millions of toys on the market, and we couldn't possibly test them all. But HealthyToys.org is a great first step to give parents information when they're going to the store this holiday season. So we're releasing this database before Christmas, so parents can actually go to HealthyToys.org and get information about what products are out there that don't contain these hazardous chemicals. We got lead out of house paint, we got lead out of gasoline. I should hope we could get lead out of children's products. So it's not just China, and it's not just lead. The federal government isn't regulating toys made anywhere, even toys made in the United States. Manufacturers aren't required to list the chemical components of their products. The government is currently not regulating chemicals in children's products. So we did this testing with all of these toys, and it turns out that there are a lot of toys that don't have these hazardous components on them, and you can find those listed on HealthyToys.org. Parents assume that the government is protecting them, but in fact there are only voluntary standards that toy manufacturers have to meet. We want to give parents information. We don't want to alarm them. We want to give them tools so they can make the best decisions possible to protect their kids.
Children are more vulnerable to toxic chemicals than adults for two reasons. Their developing bodies are more sensitive to the chemicals, and pound for pound, they're exposed to larger levels of these chemicals than adults are. Their developing brain, immune system, reproductive system, hormone systems can be affected in ways that have lifelong impacts. Children are directly exposed to the chemicals in toys when they put them into their mouths, as they inevitably do when they're playing with them. We know for a fact that there are hazardous chemicals in these toys. So parents are really acting out of blind faith if they believe that the toy has been evaluated for its safety before they find it on the shelf in the store. But it's really interesting to know that chemical manufacturers and toy manufacturers are not required to do safety testing of the chemicals that they put into children's toys before they're put onto the market. Toys are not the only source of exposure to these toxic chemicals, but they're among the most preventable.
When you don't know the answer to something, that's when it's scary. But if you have a report like this where the answer is right there, it no longer is scary because your answer is right there. It's going to reduce any of the paranoid feelings of I'm not doing everything that I can do for this child.
Consumer demand and consumer pressure is an extremely important thing in America. There is no mom that wouldn't want something safer if they could choose it. Perhaps collectively they will put pressure on the manufacturers, and the manufacturers will hopefully do the right thing. Our government is not exactly protecting us in the way that we expect them to be protecting us. Will this report hopefully put some pressure on the people who regulate product safety? Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I really think that this is a hot button topic that's going to be coming up over and over again.